Yes, it was the British.
What?
It was, people forget that it was the British who went over into Africa and who first got slaves. And then when everybody else started here, and when America started to get colonized and everything like that, British had their own slaves, and the people who came to, and the people they had, yes.
Baby, let me rephrase you. I'm sorry. I was just making sure. I was just going back into my catalog to make sure I had a real concrete understanding before I just said what I was about to say. The first people that started the slave trade were the Portuguese. The Portuguese were the first ones, because listen to me, baby. Listen to me.
Hold on, I'm not arguing.
I know.
I'm saying that the British, when I'm talking about when this took place, it was the British who went over into Africa. Because it was a bunch of people. Took place? When this particular situation happened.
I'm saying whoever genesis the slave trade was the Portuguese.
I wasn't saying that. Listen, I wasn't
they were the
saying
first
that
ones
they
break out and start taking everything, start cutting off all the corridors.
They were the first.
My spill of
yes,
facts.
no, let me just say, yes, I am. Right. But we're going way too far. I wasn't talking about who started.
Right.
I was talking about when the British wanted to colonize America. When the whole slave trade first was beginning, and they saw that the Portuguese was getting, we all got to get ours. The British was getting theirs. The Portuguese was getting theirs. The Europeans was getting theirs. Everybody.
British and Portuguese, yes.
They were getting theirs. So, what I'm saying is, when all that time was happening, Britain went over to Africa, got slaves. Brought them to America. When they brought them to America, and the 13 colonies and everything was going on, and it was pretty much an implode of war, they used that. It was a civil. It was like a court proceeding that had went. It was almost like still set up in like a Britain court. Everybody still had those type of wigs, because we forget that people was dressing up like that in America because it was still under Britain control.
Yeah, and they got that concept from Egypt.
Exactly. So
because we used to wear wigs and shit, but they were wigs of like cornrows and
exactly.
shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Or wigs of dreadlocks that were really royal braided. You know what I'm saying? Royally braided hair that they used to put on and shit, and they used to wear that as a wig. And that's where they got that shit from, because it was the priests that usually had their heads shaved through their past rites of passage time frame.
And they used that hair. They had weaving. No, what I'm saying is that people forget that weave were invented before this whole age of weave came. We had the concept of shaving heads, using that for braid hair. We didn't use horse hair. We used human hair. People who dedicated their hair, because it's in all parts. There's still
traditions,
like a tradition
cultural
where
customs.
The shaved head is the ultimate. Like
the
even
symbol
Africa,
of beauty.
A beauty. Look at Africa right now, where you see a lot of the warrior women have their head shaved, because it's not only a sign of beauty, it's a sign of courage. Because that's the hair is attached to you. That's like getting the limb cut off. You're literally sacrificing.
That's what it was believed
to basically get more in tune, because that hair not only covers your head, but it stops a certain enlightenment from getting through. It's a symbolism of enlightenment, beauty. Because just think about it, like the sun. If we get the energy from the sun, and our hair is protecting us from our natural scalp from touching the sun, then it's blocking certain nutrients and energy that your brain would necessarily get. Because if 80% of your body heat goes out of your head, it has to come through.
So then think about that. If you shave off your head and you're in a hot ass temperature and 80% of your body heat come through your head, you'd fucking boil your brain. So it wouldn't be the customary thing to want to do unless it was a sacrificial element behind it or some type of importance behind it, like you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, everybody not walking around with bald heads. The reason why we have hair is to help protect your head. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
For certain reasons of enlightenment and just think about who the people who you see in those tribes with the shaved head. You recording this right now?
On 2 atlases, yeah. On video and voice recording it.
Oh, wow.
So now let me just reiterate a little bit because we was a little off topic, but to bring it back to the full surface of the topic, I was just bringing a delineation. I understand where you're coming from, but there's a timeline perspective where things are coming into play.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, but let me just say something to you. This was still when, because I got to show you what I have to show you what I was watching.
I'm trying to get people facts real quick.
Yes, but yes, this is, I wasn't talking about the beginning of the slave trade. I was talking about towards the middle of the slave trade, towards the middle of ending of the slave trade.
Yeah, I was about to say, you mean during the ending, because the Civil War was the end, like that was the ending of the transatlantic slave trade, where they stopped shipping motherfuckers from over, and they actually then stopped shipping motherfuckers.
Yeah. You know actually, to be honest with you, Britain abolished, and that was one of the reasons why. That was one of the reasons, but not the main reasons why. That just was a tribute because they lost the whole fucking ship of motherfuckers and went back to Africa.
I didn't know about none of that for a second. For the recorded from there, go right to our videos.
What time is it?
So what can you do now with this? You can pause it and upload it or something. Yeah, that's
No. My hair ain't done. Fuck that. Fuck that. No.
They can't even see
yes, they can. Yes, they can. You see all of this shit in the background. No. They ain't getting me like that on YouTube. Looking like Sideshow Bob.
I can put an emoji over your face.
No, thank
or
you.
put a fake key
Listen, let me do my hair. Let me do my hair.
I could put a black woman.
Well, this is just raw
hair over your face.
Nah, what we could do is we can just cut out the whole image part and just like how they got pocket. Listen, man.
Yeah, we could put like a microphone.
This is what I was thinking.
Or like a
this
picture.
Is what I was thinking.
Like how brother like how this is.
Let me say something. I was thinking that maybe we could put like a table back there so where the camera's aiming at that, so you don't see the movie on the house.
Yeah, of
but
course.
You see
this
that
gonna be
part.
our little office and shit.
Yeah, like this could be like the chime in
the
spot.
Office.
Yeah, the office. Well, not the
office. We close that door, we open that up and push that back in the closet. That shit is perfect. We can even push it on the wall and shit.
And we can have like shit on the wall,
shit, all types of shit. Sit the table, sit this table right here and shit.
Around the house.
You feel me? I'm actually considering shit like that, man. But we was considering this opaque white was just something that we was considering.
Y'all can paint because y'all renting the own, right?
Yeah.
I want that house that's for $90,000 in Renton, PA.
And put new shit down.
I am planning on
how to do all that, bro. I gotta do all that, bro.
It's not even about money.
Listen, if he give us the opportunity to at least income tax time, like
it's gonna here's what I'm looking at, baby. At the end of the day, the chips is stacked, right? Yeah, the chips is stacked against him on one level or another because realistically speaking, it's about to be the dead of winter. Nobody's trying to have a house just sitting accruing fucking bills all winter for no reason with nobody there when he knows at the end of the day that we're more legitimized to give him something out of it instead of getting something out of it throughout this winter.
Because to be honest with you, hold on, let me just be honest with you because for real, all he really is doing is paying property tax.